And at that time, I didn't cover my head.
Okay.
I was sort of practicing in the sense that I prayed regularly, I read the Quran, I fasted, the usual, but I just didn't cover my head.
Okay.
So anyway, it was Ramadan, and I was heading home one weekend. I was at a bus stop waiting for the bus when a lady appeared. She approached me, and she was fully covered, like she wore the abaya and the niqab, and she said, "Excuse me." And I thought maybe she wants to inquire about a bus or some place. So I said yes, and then she caught me off guard, and she said, "Are you a Muslim?" And i was I was confused by this question, and I thought that I didn't hear her right or something, but then I said yes, and she said, "Are you fasting?" And I said yes. And then she asked, "Then why aren't you covering your head?" So at that point I was very furious, and I replied rudely that it's none of your business. And then the bus came, and I went about my business. And then on Sunday, it was 2005, and a massive earthquake hit Pakistan that day. It had caused a lot of damage. There were lots of deaths, and it was enough to, jolt everybody. But
SubhanAllah.
I was safe. My family was safe, Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
And then I had to head back to the university. So while I was traveling, I studied in a different city. So I had about 2 hours of traveling time. So, and while I was traveling, I kept thinking and thanking Allah that I was safe, and that there were people who slept and they never woke up. And then all of a sudden, I remembered that girl and her question. And once again, I was all furious and fuming and thinking, who
SubhanAllah.
does she think she is asking me such a question? What kind of question was that? I mean, was she dumb or anything, asking me, "Are you Muslim?" Of course I'm a Muslim. I live in a Muslim country. And um, don't I? And then, of course, don't I look like a Muslim? And at that point, a voice firmly answered in my head, "No, no, you don't look like a Muslim."
SubhanAllah.
And I was in a moment of, you can say, shock temporarily. And and then slowly I let my conscience take over and thought that, I'm Asian, I have Indian looks, and let's say that I was in some other country, Britain, maybe, and I died somehow traveling. And how would people know that I am a Muslim and I need to be buried and not a Hindu and burnt? And then I realized that if only I had a head covering, a scarf or anything, they'd know for sure that, yeah, she's Muslim and she needs to be buried. And so it began, and I was, you know, I thought that if, you know, a single piece of head covering can make me look like a Muslim, so what is it to me? I mean, what's stopping me from making me look like a Muslim? Alhamdulillah, I'm proud to be a Muslim, and I wouldn't
Alhamdulillah.
want otherwise. So I thought, okay, so it's just a piece of cloth and nothing else, and you can just, put it on your head, and you can still show your hair and just pin it a bit. And then I asked, it was Ramadan, with the shaitan probably locked up. And then I said, okay, Allah, oh Allah, help me, guide me. And the next morning, I was uh, I was covering my head with the
Alhamdulillah.
dupatta. And it wasn't properly covered, but
Mm.
at least I started. And so it basically started from there. And with that, slowly, with the passage of time, I mean 4 or 5 months later, I started covering my head properly with a scarf. And then the the sleeves of my clothes slowly they became, proper, with my arms covering. And after maybe about 2 3 months later, I was a friend of mine had taken me to an Islamic school, and there was some kind of lecture there. And while we were waiting, there was a poster they had displayed. outside, and it basically said that there was a main question, and it said that why don't you wear the hijab, and what are the reasons that stop you from wearing the hijab. And there were a list of reasons, and that anybody could possibly think of, that how would I look, I wouldn't look nice, and what would people say, and I mean every other question was there. And I went through all of them and thinking, yeah, that's what I think, that's what I think. And at the end of the poster, there was just one little thing mentioned, and it was a part of an ayah from the Quran, and it said that um, I surrender, I accept and I surrender.